We're good.
Okay. Good morning, Dale.
Morning, Susan. How are you?
Good. I see you have the morning sun reflecting on your shoulder in a pleasant light.
I, I do. Yeah, it's this shoulder.
Yes,
It,
it's fine.
it's going this way across my body, so it'll be gone soon. It is. It's only certain times of the year in the winter when the sun gets that far down
Yep.
into, which is my left side, so I'm facing south in my house in my office, and that's north behind me. So
Yeah,
that
I know so many people who do, podcasts and videos and stuff like that. They would be mortified at the imperfections of our presentation, but we don't care because we're not looking to be perfect.
I don't care. Maybe I should.
And
It's like this is like I deal with that in my life with my wife and my daughter. Like, Dad, that's not perfect. I'm like, I don't care if it's not perfect.
right.
People take me the way I am, and there was an interview on Demi Moore the other day. I heard where she's like, "Look, I like this is we're all this way, and
Yep.
some people are just uncomfortable with it, and like there's this persona, and I'm like, no, I'm just real.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't showered this morning. Is that TMI?
No,
Okay.
not
So
TMI at
the hair's
all.
up. So we're just, going. We're
Yeah,
just going. So
I
today it is
agree this
morning. We
morning.
both got our coffee. Um, and we are going to talk about being essentially brand new,
Yeah,
how to find your SOI. And if you don't know what SOI stands for, it's sphere of influence. Who do you know? Who do you kind of know? Who do you regularly have contact with? How do you create that sphere of influence? You know,
yeah,
and I've seen so many new agents go, I don't know anybody. And you would be stunned at how many people you actually know. And that can be in that sphere of influence. So you can start building your database. You have to have a database. I don't care if it's an index card, although I don't advise it. I don't care if it's Google contacts. I don't know what Apple does, but whatever.
Excel spreadsheets,
Excel spreadsheets, great.
Google
you know,
Sheets. There's
something,
numbers on Mac. It's called Numbers.
you know,
So when you say database, you just simply mean a list of people and how to contact them, email, phone number.
email, phone number, ideally address.
Yeah. Okay.
But if nothing else, get their phone number and email.
Yeah.
And something. Get a way to reach them.
And
Okay.
I would get their, if they have a home address, get their home address.
Yeah, I mean, ideally that's, you would get that, but I mean, you'd have that, but if they get in your SOI, you can usually get that from them because you can ask them. You say, hey, da, 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 whether you text them or call them or email them. So literally think about a week of your life. Do
Okay.
you get your hair done? Your hairdresser is your sphere of influence. I'm talking about chicks here, although guys too.
I
Get
have a regular person I
Yeah,
go
I
to.
can tell you do your coif. Do you get your nails done? Do you have a used to be everybody knew their mailman. I live in a neighborhood where our mailman walks, mail woman, mailman, whoever it is, walks the neighborhood. We wave. There's somebody.
We just got through the holidays and I gave $50 to our mailman because he's the same dude. And I gave $50 to the recycle driver, the recycle pickup driver. I gave $50 to the trash collector dude. I gave $50 to we have a guy who does our pool. We have a person who, like, I gave $50 to all those people this year. And they
Your
were like,
pool guy.
who does that?
Your
So
pool, exactly. Your landscaper who pick, somebody picks up the poop in your yard.
I
Your
gave myself $50 for that because I do the poop. So
Yeah, I know we do it too, but my neighbor has a service that comes, it can come once a week and they have two dogs and I can only imagine the amount of poop,
yeah,
but I digress. Um, your neighbors, the ones that are right next to you or whatever, things that you do, honestly, grocery shopping, you go and did you go grocery shopping? No, maybe you don't go to say check out with the same person, but you see that person, you be social and friendly. Um, what do you do in your life that you're a group of? Are you involved in your church? Are you involved in a sport? Do you play softball? Does your spouse have any of these connections? Lean on your partner, your sibling if you don't have a spouse, or your parents if you're particularly on the younger side. Do you have a dog that you walk or take to a dog park? It's about the people that you see and connect with. If you are a hermit and don't, no disrespect, um, it's gonna be a little harder unless you're really active on social media. And then there's ways to do that too, but it's a little harder. Um, you can, like, I have a lot of friends on social media that I don't see, haven't seen in a million years or many, 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 many years. And they're in my SOI because we interact on social media. I knew them. I mean, I'm 60 years old, so I knew them 20, 30 years ago and we're connected. And so I have them in my sphere because we interact on social media. We know each other's history and stuff like that. So there is ways to do it via social media, but it's not ideal to only do it that way. What about you, Dale? I mean, you coach volleyball. I can only imagine how many parents and other coaches you come in contact with.
yeah, parents, coaches, administrators at the school, teachers,
Oh my gosh, huge.
like those folks are all. I don't have everybody, but I have this. I have a group of folks that I've known for a while that have gone into my database that get homeowner campaigns from me from my the software I found agent that we use.
Right.
Um, those folks, and I have people that I met 6 years ago when I first started coaching that are still getting the same homeowner campaign for their neighborhood, and every time I see them they thank me for putting them on it.
There's a
So
there's a place that right around the corner from my house. It's called Gamers Guild, and it's a huge place to literally go play games. So if you're a geek and you want to go, or not a geek, and you want to go and just play backgammon or a dungeon or any of those other online games that I'm completely disconnected from, um, or cribbage or whatever. There's ways to do that. Is there a Starbucks you hang out at regularly or go to regularly? The drive-through person. Um, I just, you have to look at your life and figure out what you do on a fairly regular basis or who you see on a fairly regular basis, or your partner, family, whoever you're immediately connected to. I had a really young girl was like, I don't have anything. And she was like 20 or 21, had license, but her dad owned a landscaping company and her mom owned a cleaning service. Great people. I'm like, use your parents, to start collecting that for you. So there's a million ways to do it.
yeah, for sure. I think it, and then you develop this list. I like to think about it because I've been around the business a while. And I like to compartmentalize it in two ways. One is, who do you know owns a home? Like, it's another way. Who you come across people who own homes. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and you haven't talked about how to develop your list beyond just people or you've run into. But there's homeowners and there's not homeowners. I like to think of the list that way. Like, there's a game. How many homeowners can you get into your sphere of influence or into your another way you mentioned a database? How many of those folks? Because you're definitely going to market to those folks differently than somebody who's not a homeowner, who's
Right.
a potential home buyer. or they're a renter. They could be renting a house that you come across, or that you manage, or that somebody who manages, property rentals, things like that. So and someday, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, they may be a home buyer at some point. So
Right.
it's, it's a way to think about it also, homeowners, not homeowners. And then like the game is, how many can I get this week? How many can I
Right.
get this month?
Right. And in any database, whether it's a database or it's an Excel spreadsheet or whatever, you just simply have a column or a thing, homeowner, future homeowner, or future buyer or whatever. And because they are different beasts, and you're going to approach them differently. I was at a baby shower this weekend. Lots of young people, um, that are future home buyers. Um, and not that you walk around and go, but you can if you engage and converse. Yeah, I just got my license, or, blah, 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 or it's just it works really well. And you can talk with your family members to help promote you, and they can help throw names your way. And then if they throw a name in an email, or their name and a phone number your way, you can reach out and say, hey, my nephew gave me your number, would it be okay? Just ask permission. If they say no, it's okay, it's fine.
Right.
So it does take some footwork, depending on how well connected you are, in your life. Um, I'm gonna, go so far as to say that if you're a little older, in your 30s, you're gonna have more of a sphere already than if you're 20, but it's not impossible. Um, so that is just a good way to get started. There's certainly much that follows up with that, but we just want to give you some basic tips to get your mind rolling on how I can start accumulating my leads and sphere. And that is, a great way to top off and end the morning. All right, Dale. Well, I will talk to you later,
All
and
right, Susan.
get out there, guys.
Thanks for your time. Have a good one. Bye.